Hello. Today I'll be doing a bit of an early preview of New York's matches heading into the new season. They have a really tough first couple of matches. They have the opening match of Season 5 against the Los Angeles Gladiators, and just 2 days later they have to face the Atlanta Reign. New York have definitely some very tough matches heading into the season, and if they don't stay on their toes, they could very well end up with a 0-2 record to start the year. But they could come out of the gate swinging and surprise everyone. But will they? It'll be tough. But I feel like with overperformance and a bit of luck, they can do it. New York is trying to prove they are a top-tier team in NA, and these guys are hungry. Yaki, Flora, Gangnam Jin, and Myungbong are all players who are really talented, but were held back by struggling teams in Boston and Florida especially. And now that they're unleashed, we'll be able to see what they're truly capable of. Meanwhile, the Gladiators have been hyped up as a championship-level team, making big moves in every position, and if they are looking to be seen as back on top after a bit of criticism recently surrounding Ons and Patafan. If those two or even one of those two pop off, they'll be firmly back in being considered as a championship likely. Meanwhile, the Reign are also looking to prove themselves. After making some big changes and losing Hunter, they're trying to prove that the loss of their star player Pelican won't cripple them. And I think for New York to come out on top, they need to play to their strengths. That's pretty much their DPS line. These guys are gods, and now that they're unlocked, they'll be better than last year. But while the Reign is more manageable, the Glads are going to be really tough. I think Yaki and Kevstar are about the same, though I'd say Kevstar is a bit better on the projectile, like Man Echo though, and even on the Tracer than Yaki. But Flora versus Ons and Patafan would be interesting. I could be overrating him, but I still feel like Ons has great mechanics on hit scan, and with one less tank, he'll be able to play be more freely dominant, especially with Kevstar by his side pounding on Tracer or Echo or whatnot, creating a ton of space, not even mentioning Reiner in space. I think he'll look very good, but the only issue is his inflexibility, and while I'd take him over Flora on a lot of hard hit scan, Flora comes into his own when he can pull out the Tracer or Sombra and pound. And I don't know if Patty can quite live up to that. If New York can force a Tracer or Sombra comp, or even a Tracer Echo comp, I think they can very well win it. Unless Kevstar just starts carrying. Honestly, it's still a tough matchup even then. Gangnam Jin needs to be able to keep up with Shu, which is a very tall order. And we still don't know how the Kellen and Reiner can match up. Atlanta is definitely more manageable, but it's still pretty close. I personally rate Kai higher than Flora on pretty much everything other than maybe the Sombra. But definitely on the hard hit scan. But honestly, if he's given time to practice, Kai could pound the Tracer and Sombra as well. He played them decently well on the Valiant. He just didn't need to flex much because on the Reign, Pelican was one of the most flexible players in the game. But I think Venom will be the main Tracer player for the team, and that worries me a little bit. He's amazing at Tracer, but he's really inflexible. And I don't even think he's as good as Tracer as Yaki. In a game where different comps will be everything, I don't really see him as being uber valuable. I can see Yaki just picking the Tracer and completely diffing Sigma. Or Venom. I do think slightly prefer Nero on a lot of the flex DPS. It's complicated, but if it's a Tracer meta, then I have to prefer Yaki Flora over Atlantis DPS line. Gangnam Jin is also going to have to be a crucial part of these comps, though. He'll be starting most of the time, but we don't know if he can hang with Ultraviolet and Shu. He was elite in 2020 and easily one of the better players in the league, but Shu was absolutely dominant last year, and even Ultraviolet is a Rookie of the Year hopeful. They're going to be monsters in a double flex support meta, though. Honestly, I'd say New York is better than Shu when skewed in a double flex, as I'm not that high on skewed. Then Kellen's going to be interesting. It sounds like a diva meta that could happen, which is worrying to say the least. There's really no one on the market right now who is as good as Hawk or Space, who had 2 Roll Star level years. And that could hurt them, as they won't be able to make as much space for the DPS to pound. Kellen is arguably the best main tank out of the 3 teams, but if it's a diva meta, then whoever New York picks up could just get diffed. And if not enough space is created, then that would mitigate the impact that Flora and even Yaki could have. But overall, New York has solid chances to take down both of these teams. Glad's a very tall order, but with a bit of overperformance from Yaki, it could happen. Then with some solid pickups at main support and off tank, I genuinely feel like New York could go into the rain match as the favorite. Anyways, thanks for watching, and remember to like and subscribe for more. I upload nearly daily Overwatch League content, and I'm trying to hit 100 subs by the end of Season 5, so any subscription helps greatly. Thanks.